That's that.
Reverberates into everything that goes on.
Absolutely.
A second.
Hi, Jason.
Good morning, Ross. How are you?
Good.
No, Jason. How's everything?
Good. Considering this
Yeah.
part of the world is okay.
Yeah.
So far,
Ish.
so far.
Yeah,
I
ish.
don't know, I think this some part of the world's changing too.
Well, the RCMP saved our butts this week, so.
Yeah. And how many other
What
times we
happened?
don't know.
I know, right?
Exactly, yeah.
What
That's-
They foiled a terrorist plot by it.
You here?
You know.
Here, no, it was in the, the Israeli press even.
Yeah.
This morning it got in there. In Mariv and, I don't know why they didn't check it.
All right, we'll get started with our review. This is Kadmav law and Geireish phrases. So I'll just do a review of what's on the screen, and then we'll do a repeat of what's on the screen because it's our overall summary, right? It's like everything in this section. So Kadmav la munach telisha ketana. Kadmav la Kadma Geireish. Geireish, Geir'shayim, munach Geir'shayim, mapach pashta Geir'shayim. Alright, so the things that we're looking out for here is the difference between Kadma ve'asla and Kadma Geireish. Reminder that the Geireish, it's called Geireish because, it's different only in that the accent, the trope rather, is on the second to last syllable rather than the last. When it's on the last syllable, it's an asla. When it's on the second to last, or third to last even, it could be Geireish. And then the kadma will sound different. Kadma ve'asla, or kadma, just like a regular kadma by itself. Kadma, remember we learned that was the very first thing we learned, right? Oh, no, it wasn't the very first thing we learned. We learned it at the top first, but anyway. Kadma Geireish, and then the Geireish sounds just like the asla. The asla Geireish. Okay, so let's do this together. Kadma, 1, 2, 3. Kadma ve'asla, munach telisha ketana. Kadma ve'asla, kadma Geireish, Geireish, Geir'shayim, munach Geir'shayim, mapach pashta Geir'shayim. Right. Remember, pashta just goes up; it doesn't come down, which is kind of what it looks like too, right? It's got that. Imagine it has an up, like an arrow on the end of it, on the top of it, right? Mapach pashta. Right. Okay, good. Let's do some of our box exercises. Kadma ve'asla, 1, 2, 3. Kadma ve'asla, and this one. Munach telisha ketana. Kadma ve'asla. And remember, we're paying attention to breaths here, right? Because we have a bunch of green tropes in a row. We're not supposed to take a breath between those. Again, nobody's going to kick you off the bima if you take a breath between some of them.
You better not.
Like there are some that do lend themselves to a little bit of a breath, but you're technically not supposed to. Like telisha ketana. You know, if you go telisha ketana, kadma ve'as, like it's not the end of the world. It doesn't affect the meaning of the. Well, it could affect the meaning actually, but anyway, it's not going to be. Nobody's going to kick you off the bima. All right, let's do the next one. This one. 1, 2, 3. Geir'shayim. Good. And this one. Kadma Geireish. So remember, it's the two boxes to show that it's on the second to last syllable, not on the last syllable. That means this is a Geireish. Sorry, that means this is a Geireish, not an asla. And the kadma will have the sound of the regular kadma. Kadma Geireish. So let's do that one again. 1, 2, 3. Kadma Geireish. Good. And this one. Mapach pashta Geir'shayim. Good. And this one. Geir'shayim. And this one. Kadma ve'asla. Everyone understand why that's Kadma ve'asla?
Yeah.
Right? the concept with the boxes is a unique concept to the box practice exercise, but again, it's got one box, which means it's on the last syllable. If it's two boxes, it's to show you that it's not on the last syllable, right? So if it's on the last syllable, it's Katon Ve'azla, that's the rule. All right. And this one, 1, 2, 3. Munach Geir'shayim. So just as a review here, Munach before a Geir'shayim kind of doesn't sound like very much. You just kind of do the same notes as the Ger of Geir'shayim, and no breath. So Munach Geir'shayim. Good. And this one's a Kadma Geireish. 1, 2, 3. Kadma Geireish. Good. And this one, big breath. Munach Telisha Ketana Kadma Ve'azla. Then we take a breath, but there's nothing else. There you go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Geir'shayim. And this one. Munach Geir'shayim. Good, let's go. This is still reviewed from last week. So we have some words. Sadehu. Oh, I just did it for you. 1, 2. Well, what is it? That's not actually correct. I don't know what I just did. What is this? What is this trope?
I know
What's the name of the trope?
name.
What's the name of the trope?
Geir'shayim. Geir'shayim.
Geireish.
Geireish.
Geireish, right. Why? Because it's on the second to last syllable. So what does Geireish sound like? Geireish. Oh, that is what I sang, isn't it? I think it is what I sang. Okay, so yes, Sadehu or Sadehu, more accurately, start on the same note as the trope. Sadehu. Good. And this one. 1, 2, 3. Vayikach Avraham. This is a little reminder also in this program and in the sheets that I'll give you, the difference between Geireish and Azla is the thickness, right? This is just as thin as the Kadma, so you know it's a Kadma Ve'azla. They go together when they're the same thickness. They go separately as two separate tropes when they're different thicknesses, right?
So when it's on so,
It's also on the last syllable, so that's the actual rule.
When you know the last syllable, then it's a pair.
It's a pair. Kadma
And
Ve'azla.
when it's on the penultimate syllable, then it's not a pair.
Correct.
Okay, that's a simpler way of
Yeah,
mnemonics.
or an additional way anyway, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it always works. It always works like that. So that's a good way to remember. Okay, this one. 1, 2, 3. Asher al sefat nachal arnon. Okay, right. So we have Asher. I don't know what I just did. Asher is Telisha Ketana, and then you have all the syllables with Kadma Ve'azla with the accent of the Kadma on the Na. So it's Asher al sefat nachal arnon. But I'm just going to let you do this because I'm like off today. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so and Hena. Now, and it's a Geireish
But
this one is the thicker one.
But
than
it's
the
a
other
thicker
one.
one.
because on the second to last syllable.
Yeah, it's.
It doesn't have to have a Kadma before it. Aha, right? Because it
Yeah.
would just be a Geireish, just with it has a helper trope with Una. So how do we do this? Sort of. So remember the Geireish, if we're just doing Hena, it's Hena, right? So the Munach, Hena. Because the Munach before both Geireish and Geir'shayim just use the same note as the starting of the next stroke, of the next stroke. In this case, Geireish, right? Hena. Good. And this one. 1, 2, 3. Vayehi kolo tuvrakim. Yes. And this one. Va'asher ba'aretz mitachat. See, subtle difference, but it's a Kadma Geireish. So ba'aretz, not ba'aretz, right? You see the difference? When it's Kadma Ve'azla, think of it as a pair. Yam, bam, bam, ba, da, da, da. But here it's two separate tropes. Kadma Geireish, ba'aretz mitachat. Good. So this whole line again, va'a, 1, 2, 3. Va'asher ba'aretz mitachat. Good. And this one. Ha'chelev ve'ha'aliyah. Good. And this one. 1, 2, 3. Kol asher einenu nakod v'talu. Good. Why are there two tropes on one word
Because
here?
the accent is, it's,
On the one before last.
Right, exactly. So the trope, the question isn't what, the question is less why is there an accent on the neck. The question is why, the trope I mean, why is there an accent out here too? That's the question. And the correct answer is that the Tlisha Katana always hangs out after the word is over, right? So that one doesn't affect things because it's not the right place for the accent, so they put a second one on that. That's the green one. So for all intents and purposes, you can ignore this one.
Yes, it's.
Okay, and just do this one. All right, let's do that one again. Kol asher, 1, 2, 3. Kol asher einenu nakod v'talu. Good. And this one. Yes, so vegamayim. All one note until we get to the trope, right? Vegamayim. And this one. Totzei haaretz. And this one. Mibnei hatoshavim. Good, so now you're getting trained, now you're getting used to looking ahead and seeing what the next word is after the kadma, right? Kadma, you should always look ahead to see what's next, right? Because it might affect how you sing the kadma, right? So kadma v'yazla there, that's it. And this one, 1, 2, 3. Asher ata v'kirbo. And this last one, 1, 2, 3. Iteitzei lamilchama. Good, all right. Segol phrases. So just, I'm gonna zoom in here for fun. Here's our segol, right? Segol is called a segol because it looks just like a segel, the vowel segel, and it has, the name itself has a segel in it, which is just, in a sense, coincidental. But segol is that 3-dot thing. So the segol is another trope that ends phrases. There's something we can get at. Like Talisha Ketana, the symbol for segol trope only appears at the end of the word. So this is another one like Tlisha Ketana, which will need a second version, a second copy of it in color on the second to last accent when it's on the second to last accent, because there's going to be a gray version hanging off the end of the word otherwise. We'll see that in a second. It is a standard feature of every chumash that when pashta appears on words where the accent is not on the last syllable, the pashta is repeated for the accented syllable. This is not so of segol. So this is the opposite of what I just said, but we have modern chumashim, so it's okay. Older chumashim, like the Hertz chumash, do not repeat the segol on the accented syllable. They leave it to us to know that the word is accented on the last syllable, okay? While many recently published chumashim and the Trope Trainer software do repeat the segol symbol. So like here, etarakia. Right? The key is accented and the it just has that. Now it doesn't hang off the end of the word like a Tlisha Ketana, it's actually over the last syllable, right? So in a sense that's easier, right? The same is true of another trope we'll also learn in this lesson, the Zarka. And very often you'll see Zarka-Segol go together. Not always one after the other, because often you get Zarka-Segol. Then your segol, Okay, so that was the music. I'll get more specific. Unlike any of the phrase ending tropes we've learned so far, that's red tropes, segol never appears by itself. It is always helped by Zarka. It's funny, I've been teaching this stuff for so long that I keep preempting what's on the screen already if I just read another line. But anyway, that's the point, is Segol doesn't appear by itself, it has to be helped by Zarka, which is an interesting situation because it's helped by an orange trope, not by a green trope, right? That's probably on the next slide too. Okay, additionally, Segol phrases are helped by one or two munachs, and occasionally by pashta, kadma, mercha, and tlisha ketana. So in other words, the list of things we're about to study is, long, right? It's got a bunch of them. So these are the more frequent trope combinations for a Segol phrase. I don't know why they call it the more frequent ones. This is all of them. Like this program covers everything. Okay, so Segol goes like this. Segol, and so that's the most common one. Segol, that's the root of everything we're doing. So let's do that. Segol. Not to confuse anything, but it's very, very similar to Haftarah-Segol, but it goes right up to the root node instead of coming from one below it. I don't want to get into the technicalities of it, but just so you know, like, oh, I've done Haftarahs before and it's the same. It's not quite the same. A little different, one note different. Segol, again. Segol. Good. Zarka. I think Zarka looks the way it sounds. It goes like this. Zarka. It's like twisty, da 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 kind of thing. Zarka-Segol. Yes. The most common phrase of Zarka-Segol is Zarka-Munach-Segol. It goes like this. Zarka-Munach. Sorry, you pause. Munach-Segol. That's your most common version of it. I'll do that again. This third line. Zarka-Munach-Segol. Do that. Zarka-Munach-Segol. Good. The next line, going back to our rule where a munach preceded by a munach, that first munach is basically just as if there's no trope, you just attach it to the next word. So two munachs in a row, this is going to sound like this. Zarka-Munach-Segol. Munach-Munach. You just attach it to the next munach and use the notes of the pickup of that munach, and that's your notes. Zarka-Munach-Segol. So that's basically like removing the little trope here and putting a dash between them. Munach-Munach, as if it's one trope. Yeah? Okay. Similarly, munach, here, this line here, munach before a zarka just uses the notes of the zar of zarka. So it's munach Zarka-Segol. Yeah, let's do that again. So again, munach just attaches to the zarka here, and then segol is separate, because take a breath after the zarka. Munach Zarka-Segol. Kadma munach Zarka-Segol. Very intuitive. The kadma is just a kadma. The munach we've just learned is attached to the zarka. The segol is separate. Remembering that these two tropes are green here, kadma and munach, so don't take a breath until after zarka. Kadma munach Zarka-Segol. And same idea here, munach. This is probably the most common version of it in all the Torah. Munach Zarka-Munach-Segol. With me, 1, 2, 3. Munach Zarka-Munach-Segol. Good. Same thing here, same rule applies, 2 munachs in a row. Munach Zarka-Segol. 1, 2, 3. Munach Zarka-Segol. What kinds of things would we have, like why munach? You can have, there are places where they're munach zarka. What's going on in the text most likely? A list of things. Or a list of adjectives that lead up to a word. So it's a list, usually. We'll probably see some examples. Although if there's only 2, we might not see it as a list, but we'll see. Anyway,
So would that be maybe with the two parsha when you do the Aserat HaDibrat?
Mhm.
And you get to the Ten Commandments?
I don't think there's double munachs or triple munachs in that. I don't mean a list. So this is a list of words, not phrases, right? So it's going to be one word, one word, one word. Munach, 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 zarka.
Yeah, got paper, pen, ink, whatever.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah.
Or something like, and they went and they traveled and they marched to
Whatever.
Geir'shayim, and
Yeah.
something like
And
that.
that would be
You get
also
like a
one
list of
the-
words that kind of qualify and
As a
qualify and
phrase
qualify.
altogether.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly, like that. I don't know, we'll see what it proposes, it might come up with other ideas, but anyway. Okay, so where are we here? We're on this one. All of these now just do what they normally do. Kadma, mercha, well, I'll do. Yeah, I'm feeling that it's low, but it might just be my voice. Kadma, mercha, zarka, Zakeif. I think I did make it lower. Kadma, mercha, zarka, Zakeif. Good, and our longest phrase in this group, oops, stay up there. Talisha, make it higher so we can all sing it comfortably. Talisha, one, big breath, because there's a lot of syllables here. 1, 2, 3. Talisha, ketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, Zarka-Segol. Yes, that's right. Again, no lightning bolts are going to come straight to you. Now if you take a breath after your Talisha, ketana, or whatever. Okay, so let's do that last one more time. Talisha ketana, 1, 2, 3. Talisha ketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, Segol. Good. And I think because there was a lot of stuff there, let's go through that whole thing again. It'll help us in the long run. Segol, 1, 2, 3. Segol, and this one, Zarka-Segol, and this one, Zarka, Segol, and this one, Zarka, Segol, good, and this one, Zarka. Segol, and this one, let's make it a little higher. Kadma, 2, 3. Kadma, Zarka, Segol, Segol. Good. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, this one here. 1, 2, 3. Zarka, Segol. And this one. 1, 2, 3. Zarka, Segol. Kadma, 1, 2, 3. Kadma, mercha, zarka, Segol. Teli, 1, 2, 3. Teli shaketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, Segol. Yes. Okay. Wow, that's right. That was a lot of stuff. All right. This, I think it's going to give us a few pages of exercises within that, but here we go. 1,
We
2.
just made it larger, right? Because I could see the Zarka. I couldn't see the Zarka before.
Oh, sorry. Yes. So I think now that we've moved into a different phase of the exercise, it's a different size. I didn't realize I could have blown it up further for you. So if ever that happens, just let me know and I'll tell you if I can help. Okay. Munach, 1, 2, 3. Munach, zarka, Segol. Talisha ketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, Segol. Wow, you guys are good at this. That's great. Tali, 1, 2, 3. Talisha ketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, munach, munach, segol. Yes. And this one, 2, 3. Zarka, munach, munach, segol. And this one, 1, 2. Big breath, 2, 3. Teli shaketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, munach, segol. Good. And that one. Munach, zarka, segol. And that one. Teli shaketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, munach, munach, segol. Yes. And this one. Kadma, munach, zarka, segol. Not bad. Just kadma, right? It's up higher. Kadma, munach. Actually, it's not. It's kadma, munach, zarka. Without getting into too much technicality, sometimes people will take the kadma, and then come back down, but it's not correct. It's kadma, munach, zarka. 1, 2, 3. Kadma, munach, zarka, segol. Good. Let's go into our box exercises. 1, 2, 3. Munach, zarka, munach, segol. Good. And this one. Teli shaketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, munach, munach, segol. Yeah. Good. And this one. 1, 2, 3. Munach, zarka, munach, munach, segol. Remember that first munach gets tacked onto the second one. Munach, munach, right? Munach, munach, segol. Good. This one. 1, 2, 3. Kadma, munach, zarka, munach, segol. Good. This one. 1, 2, 3. Teli shaketana, kadma, mercha, zarka, munach, munach, segol. And this one. 1, 2, 3. Munach, zarka, munach, segol. All right. Are we ready for some words? Let's see what happens. All right. Good. Notice that we have, just before we can start, that the segol is on the second to last syllable. Tishmoru, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Et chukotai tishmoru. Now, the distinction that you can make, but I'm not suggesting you have to. Tishmoru is technically the only way to ensure that the accent doesn't feel like it's coming out of the last syllable. But you can do tishmoru. We're making an accent and a concerted effort to distinguish loud from soft. And again, if you don't and it comes out tishmoru, it's okay. It's not the end of the world.
So are you supposed to lower your voice?
Yeah,
For the second-
I
for
would
the
do
last
that.
one?
I would do that. Et chukotai tishmoru. Moru. Subtle.
Why would that be, Jason? Just because it's an important, something that's important to the other that's coming before?
Right, because syllables that are after the accented syllable are weak syllables. By definition, they're not the strong syllables because they're not accented. The way we do that is strong weak. You've heard me do this in choir a lot, right? Hello, or hang, whatever it is. Amen. by the letter of the law, tishmoru. But you can just do strongly. Okay, let's go on. 1, 2, 3. Tikvoz el toch rechova. Rechova. Right? Why am I doing that?
Because it's got a dot.
Hey, my peak. Exactly. It's got a little dot in the hey, so it's a voice h. Okay, that's good. Not a trope thing, but a grammar thing, right? And it's possessive that way. It's feminine possessive. Okay, good. Our first example of Zarka not on the last syllable, so it just puts it on the syllable that is. Zarka is actually quite a long syllable this way, so it kind of looks like it. Is it over the v? Is it over the z? It's over the z, of course, because it's second to last syllable, right? V'zera ein la. Interesting here because we have munach right, we have munach segol, but there's no syllable to do the mu part. It's just nach segol. It's one syllable, right? You wouldn't go, in other words, v'zera ein. You just do ein la, right? Do you see that? It's hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, v'zera. 1, 2, 3. V'zera ein la. Good, very nice. And this one. 1, 2, 3. Uzevach hashenamim b'parshenayim. See how we did that? That's beautiful. You did exactly right. Shenayim. Good. And this one. 1, 2, 3. Asher nishbata lahem bach. Good. And this one. Vayikatz Yaakov mishanato. Good. And Shiloshim. 1, 2, 3. Shiloshim ume'ah mishkalah. Good. Hey, my peak. So it sounds like it's your favorite thing. 1, 2, 3. Meloveto kesef v'zahav. Right. Not hard. Just you have to know that you have to realize that the munach is on the second to last syllable. Kesef v'zahav. By the way, that's a perfect example of how a munach is used as part of the list, right? Kesef is zahav, silver and gold, right? So there's your two-word list right there. Good. And this one. Oh, okay. We have a psik in here. It's not part of a munach phrase, and so it's not a munach lagarmei. It's not orange, first of all, and it isn't in a revi'i phrase. So you know it's just a pause. And so you just insert a nice, decent pause. Asher yipol minivlatam alav yitzma. I need it too low. Asher yipol minivlatam alav yitzma. Now, why is that counterintuitive? Because your mercha is green. You're not supposed to take a breath after it, right? It's a helper trope. It's helping the azla. But the grammar needs a break so that you don't smush two words together and possibly change the meaning of the words. Malav. Malav. We don't want malav. Minivlatam malav, right? So you have to put in a break. Minivlatam alav. You want to make sure that the ayin is really pronounced with a global stop. They. The Masoretes. Whoever put it in the trope. Okay, so Asher Yipol Minivlatam Alav Yitzma. Asher Yipol, 1, 2, 3. Asher Yipol Minivlatam Alav Yitzma. Yes, and you do that on the bima and really pause when there's a pause. People will say, oh, they know what they're doing. Yeah. Even if they didn't, this is the beautiful thing about this, so much of what goes on in our services, is that if you're following along just a little bit from the congregation, and you hear something that is done correctly because of what the text shows, like Upseek, even if you don't know anything about Trope or Torah reading, but you're following along, and you see this line, and you hear Ra's pause, that rhymes, so I figured I would do that. Everyone's going to say, oh, that must be a pause, and that's why Ross is doing it, right? So that's what we want. We want people to say, I get it. Right? Even if they don't really get it, they'll get it. V'shafetu, 1, 2, 3. V'shafetu et ha'am bechol et. Now, why is bechol up here, not bechol et? That would be a munach on the bechol, right? The bechol and eight is one word with one trope on the last syllable. Segol, not segol. There is no segol. It's munach segol. So there's no munach on the bechol, so you have to start at the same note as the beginning of the trope. Bechol eight. Everyone understand what I'm saying? Because I heard somebody go etam bechol eight, but it's not bechol eight because that would be munach, right? There's no munach here. So just segol, Zarka-Segol, et ha'am bechol eight. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, let's go on. Visharatz, 1, 2, 3. Visharatz hayor, tefarteim. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Hilo tuchal seito. Good. And this one. 1, 2, 3. La'asot kol melechet harash v'choshev. Yes.
It's similar to the other one where you.
Yeah, so that's the tricky thing.
Yeah.
The way you tell that it's not in this program and the printout sheets that I would send you is that this is green, not orange. So it's just a munach and a pause, as opposed to a munach legarme, which is an orange munach and an orange pause, which isn't really a pause. It's just an orange line, right? Right. So that's what you're talking about, Agnes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that takes looking ahead and seeing, oh, I got a pause. That's one of the most obvious things you'll see. Remember, you'll only see it in your practice sheets. Pauses aren't written into the Torah. You just have to memorize them along with the Trope, right? But you will, because you'll be so proud of your pauses that you'll bring it right into your Torah, right? So again, la'asot kol melechet charash v'choshev. Good, excellent. And this one, 1, 2, 3. Uzevach hashelamim bakar shenayim. Did we do that one already?
Yes.
I think that one came up.
Yeah.
Oh, there was another phrase, bakar shenayim. Well, it's possible. This comes up all the time, particularly in Parshat Pinchas, which is the sacrifices. It also comes up in Naso, which is the gifts and dedication of the temple. You probably sang this a million times. Yes, you did. So did I. Yeah, it can come up a lot, so it's not surprising it came up as another example of that. All right, a couple more of these. Ve'el, 1, 2, 3. Ve'el ha'leviyim. Oh, sorry. Not paying attention here. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Ve'el ha'leviyim tedaber. So I actually did that on purpose to show you what happens when you make a mistake on the bima. You notice it, you fix it, you go back and you just do it again. Somebody, like with that one, somebody might not stop you because you haven't said the word wrong. In my experience, I would be ready to help if there was a pause saying, I might see a look on your face that says, oh great, now what? And I'd be happy to help. But if that happens, make a mistake, just reset, take the word again, You can go back any number of words, you can go back to the beginning of the phrase, whatever makes you most comfortable, so that you can pick up and go on. So yeah, I did it on purpose. All right, 1, 2, 3. Vaya'asu shetei taveot zahav. Yeah, just notice here there's a meteg under the va, right? That means it's a secondary accent to the trope, which is on the last syllable. So it's not vaya'asu, it's vaya'asu. Do you hear the subtle difference? Vaya'asu. 2 accents. And specifically on the va, not on the ya. Because you might think it's vaya'asu, but it's vaya'asu. Everyone following me there?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Meteg, where it's very simple, right? You just put the accent where the meteg is.
Yeah.
It's not an exception or anything, it's just something to note. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3. Vayichar Elohim ki holech hu. Excellent. And this one. 1, 2, 1. Okay. This is what I was saying earlier. There is some question as to whether you do kadma and then come back down, or kadma and then stay there. Doesn't matter. But we'll do what I said before. Kadma. 1, 2, 3. Vayesh Moshe et matehu al eretz Mitzrayim. Yeah, I like how you pulled back a little, just a little bit, just a hint of pulling back. That's great. And this last one. 1, 2, 3. El Yoshev Haaretz Hazot. Let's see what's next before we decide to stop this one or not. Okay. I think we save that one for next week.
Is there a next week?
You know what? Oh, there is not next week. We're now into the new year. Let's keep going. This is not, there's nothing new in here. It's just new combinations. So let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see. Advanced Zakeif Katon phrases, you've done all these tropes before. Most Zakeif Katon phrases are composed of just Mapach, Pashta, Munach, and Zakeif Katon. Right? Those are all familiar. I just sang them in there. Right? The rest of the advanced Zakeif Katon phrases include tropes that you have already learned. Kadma and Munach and Talisha Ketana. I sang the Munach, but I couldn't possibly sing the Munach because I don't know what comes after it. It's an isolated Munach, right? But anyway, Talisha Ketana and Yativ. Remember Yativ? Yativ. Yeah. In most Chumashim, Yativ looks just like a Mapach, but it comes before the word even starts. I don't know why they didn't continue that phrase with some words here, because that's very important. Mapach is on the accented syllable, and Yativ can be just an open, it's normally a triangle, right? Like Yativ right here, right? Oh, it puts the dot, that's nice, I can actually point. Mapach is on the accented syllable, Mapach, right? So sometimes in Chumashim, the Yativ doesn't have the vertical part, it's just open. What did I say? It's on Chumashim, right?
Yeah.
But you know it's a Yativ, not a Mapach, because it'll come before the word even starts. Like here, right? It's before, if you draw like a thin line before the Yud, it's before the word starts, right? Okay, so, similarities.
That's why there is also a period.
I don't know about that. Oh, that's just because it's the end of the instructive sentence.
Yeah.
That's not a
Okay,
Hebrew thing.
sentence.
But you don't see the triangle at all. I mean, you just see
Here,
here's a triangle, but.
well, you'll see on words.
See it?
Yeah, you'll see it for sure. And this program does all triangles, so it's easy to tell them apart. Similarities and differences between Mapach and Yativ. In most Chumashim, Yativ looks like Mapach, except where it is placed. That's what we just said, right? You can always tell Yativ from Mapach by its position in a word. Yativ always comes before the first letter of the word, to the right of it. Mapach always appears in the middle of a word or near the end, in other words, on the accented syllable. To further distinguish them, Trope Trainer and some newer Chumashim close the back of the Yativ, making it a triangle, while Mapach looks just like a little alligator mouth, a greater than symbol, or no, less than symbol, English left to right. In Hebrew, it's a great principle. Okay, in other chumashim, yativ and mapach both look like that, but one is drawn wider than the other. Oh, okay. Uses of yativ. Yativ is often used to replace a pashta. It is important for you to tell yativ and mapach apart. Yativ is shown in orange and has a pause after it, and mapach is a green trope and has no pause after it. Not only are their melodies different, but because of the pause, they have different effects on the grammar of the sentence. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's not going on further to explain or give examples at the moment, but it's basically saying, trust me, you have to do the puzzle power of the trope, as we always do. Here's the list of common advanced Zakeif Katon phrases. And let me reset myself here. Kadma Zakeif Katon. Right? 1, 2, 3. Kadma Zakeif Katon. Yetiv Zakeif Katon.
It's actually sharper and shorter than the kadma. In itself, there is a subtle difference. It's not very clear, but it's there.
I think you're right. Yetiv. And sometimes it's not a one syllable word, just od, Zakeif Katon, whatever. Yeah? So Yetiv, Zakeif Katon, 1, 2, 3. Yetiv, Zakeif Katon. Good pause too. Mercha, Pashta, Zakeif Katon. That's kind of rare. That doesn't come up that often. Mercha, Pashta, Zakeif Katon. Let's do that together. 1, 2, 3. Mercha, Pashta, Zakeif Katon. Yetiv. 1, 2, 3. Yetiv, Munach, Zakeif Katon. Well remembered. 1, 2, 3. Pashta, Munach, Zakeif Katon. Just follows the rule simply. The first munach just tacks on to as if it's not a troped word to the next munach. Munach, Zakeif Katon. Good. Kadma, 1, 2, 3. Kadma, mapach, pashta, Zakeif Katon. I erroneously took a breath after the kadma. Sorry about that. Kadma, mapach. Yeah, let's do this line again. 1, 2, 3. Kadma, mapach, pashta, Zakeif Katon. Let's make it a little higher. Kadma, mapach. Sorry, kadma, mapach. 1, 2, 3. Kadma, mapach, pashta, munach, Zakeif Katon. And this one, kadma, 1, 2, 3. Kadma, mercha, pashta, Zakeif Katon. It's quite musical actually, because the notes are not just connected. You have to do different things. Mercha, pashta, ya da 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 da. It's quite musical. Anyway, I think it's meant to be. Telisha, 1, 2, 3. Telisha ketana, kadma, mapach, pashta, Zakeif Katon. But be careful about mapach. Don't turn it into a munach. Don't turn it into a munach Zakeif Katon. Kadma, mapach, pashta, Zakeif Katon. So let's do the last line, which will include that as practice as well. Telisha, 1, 2, 3. Telisha ketana, kadma, mapach, pashta, munach, Zakeif Katon. So we're still having some people turning this into a munach. Let's just be really careful here. Kadma, mapach, pashta, munach, Zakeif Katon. That's great. Okay. And this is just exercises with tropes. So Yetiv, 1, 2, 3. Yetiv, Zakeif Katon. Kadma, Zakeif Katon. So what this is showing you is two tropes on one word. And you just treat them as if they're two words, one per syllable. Kadma and Zakeif Katon. Kadma, Zakeif Katon. What it's alluding to is not that tropes typically squish together, but that words in the Torah itself can be compound words or long words, as little as 3 syllables, but longer than 2 syllables, that have two tropes on one word. Like vehinachto, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 syllables. Vehi nachto. Vehi and nachto, but it's one word. Okay. Exactly. Is that?
So you have a
But she-
musical phrase within the long word.
Yeah, exactly. There is one in the Shema,
Yeah.
but it's not. That's not it. But anyway, yeah, there's one. Okay, Kadma. 1, 2, 3. Kadma ma pach. Oh, careful! Don't scoop up on the pot. No pach.
Yeah.
Kadma ma pach. I'm pausing just to show you to stop singing, not to. I mean sorry, I'm pausing to show that there's no more notes, but we should pause. So it should be. Listen. Kadma ma pach pashta. Munach Zakeif Katon. So Kadma, 1, 2, 3. Kadma ma pach pashta. Munach Zakeif Katon. Excellent. And this one. Mercha pashta. Zakeif Katon. Excellent. And this one. Kadma Zakeif Katon. So the difference between this and what we just discussed a moment ago, where there were 2 dashes, is that this is actually indicating 2 different words in the Torah. One of them kadma, one of them Zakeif Katon. Whereas the other one was a one-word thing where there was a kadma and a Zakeif Katon on one word. Okay. It's like 2 boxes in one versus in the boxes exercises. 1, 2, 3. Kadma ma pach pashta munach Zakeif Katon. Excellent. And this one. Ma pach pashta yetiv munach Zakeif Katon. Excellent. And this one. Oh, there's the other example of it. 1, 2, 3. Kadma Zakeif Katon. Functionally, they sound the same, right? Because in the exercises where you're saying the trope names. All right. 1, 2. We just did this one. Let's do it again. It's got a yetiv in it. 1, 2, 3. Ma pach pashta. Yetiv munach Zakeif Katon. Excellent. And this 1, 2, 3. Mercha pashta munach Zakeif Katon. And this one. Kadma mercha pashta Zakeif Katon. Good. What do we have next? Okay, so just boxes of them. All right, let's stop here for today. Next week we will pick up at a review of advanced Zakeif Katon phrases. I will upload this video, and our next session is not for a while now. Let's just confirm what that is. Does look like it. Yeah, probably. Yeah. We didn't move them, right? No. Yeah, January 7th. And let me actually just make a note. This is going to be review. Oopsies. Review advanced Zakeif Katon phrases. And then prepare. What is next? Pazer Zakeif Gadol and Isha Gedola. That's right, Pazer. What did I say? Pazer and Zakeif Gadol. Where's my mouse? Zakeif Gadol and Telisha Gedola. That's that. Okay. We are all set. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great, if you're going away anywhere, travel safely. If you're not going anywhere, enjoy probably a quieter time, I know, for most of us. I will see people in shul this week and then not the week after, because I'll be on vacation. All right.
So, Cantor,
Hang on.
Oh, yes. That's funny, because that's what we're doing next week.
Okay, yeah.
That's exactly the combination. So you need to know how that goes?
for this one?
It's a minion, yeah.
I don't know that you'd have a Zakeif-Gadol in the middle of that
Take
phrase.
care. You too.
Zakeif-Gadol.
Okay.
Zakeif-Gadol.
Yeah, see you, take care.
Let me just stop the video.
Well, no, I have to, what to